we never really get a chance to hear from you, so I'm just going to throw out some current names of players, and you just tell me what you think about their games. Nikola Jokic.
I would love to play against him.
9 turnovers for the Rockets.
Yeah, not good. Oh, boy, look at the Joker.
Bird the rebound. Over his head to McHale. Rebound to McKenna. Stripped away by Bird. Gets it to Parrish.
Comes Russell in transition, lost the ball. Turnover. Jokic, oh, what a play. Batting it ahead. He never even saw the ball.
Man, is he good. I just hope he stays healthy and able to continue to do what he does, because he is fun to watch. Probably more so than anybody in the league. It used to be that when the Golden State was healthy, they were really fun to watch. Now I've switched over to Denver.
One of the most offensive peaks of all time is what Nikola Jokic has been displaying lately. One of the greatest peaks in general, and it's kind of hard to imagine that he has improved in the 2025 season, because just 2 years ago, he was a walking 30-point triple-double on his way to Denver's first and only championship. However, the roster's lack of consistency and dependability has contributed significantly to the Joker's offensive output and workload, as seen by his last 2 games against the Spurs, in which he took 35 shots and 36 damn shots, which is unusual for a player to do this in back-to-back games in recent NBA history. The last time a player did this in back-to-back games before Jock was Kobe and 07, and dropped 60 and 50 points.
115 points in 2 games. It takes most players about 10 games to get to that total.
He was special.
Now, when it comes to a Kobe Jokic comp, there aren't many great offensive players. However, their games aren't that similar. The player who gets compared the most, in my opinion, is Larry Joe, but when I look at both of these players, they can dominate in a variety of ways, control a basketball game with very few shots, manage the glass, play pre-serviceable defense, and, of course, make all the inspirational passes.
Ahead to Bird, behind the back move, dumps it to Parrish. Yes!
Jokic, oh, what a pass inside.
For Buck Williams, it's down to a 4-point lead. Bird unleashes to Fox. That's a play.
Bradley. Baseball pass, Murray, he's got it, and he puts it over.
Danny dumps it. Oh, tip pass, Bird.
Per game. Double figures in 11 of 12. Volleyball out. Barton for 3. Yes!
And if you compare the careers of Jokic and Burr, I believe that Jokic is currently in his post-championship Larry Bird phases. If you look at Bird's 1988 season, which was nearly identical to Joy's in 2025, Bird had already won a few titles and 3 MVP awards by this time, but his best season overall had not yet arrived until 1988, when he scored 29.9 points, a career high, 9.3 boards, and 6.1 rebounds on incredible shooting splits, even though Michael Jordan won MVP. 1988 Larry Bird was one of the best peaks in NBA history, as a course Bird this year averaged 50,490 splits at 29.9 points per game among players in league history for a 54-90 season. Only Steph Kerr in 2016 had a higher scoring average. Bird in 1988, my bad. And once again, comparing current day Yish to 88 Bird, both these guys offensively tasked to do much more and really do everything for both their teams. And looking at the Joker thus far, he's done that at a ridiculous level, as nowadays seeing a 20 rebound game, a 40 game, a 15 assist game, we're almost numb to it at this point. And even versus the best defensive teams, best defensive bigs, this dude just goes out and gets 40-point balls with ease. His latest game versus Victor Wanyama in San Antonio Spurs, we had a near 46-point triple-double, and having watched a ton of Larry Bird films, studied his G game pretty thoroughly, this game versus Spurs going to be a flashback to Bird in 1988 versus the very same Spurs team.
It back out, 5.5 to go. Celtics lead by 9. Bird on the back door, at the basket.
What am I supposed to do there?
Jokic for 2.
5 in those 14 games. So we've been content to match baskets here in the second quarter, and that's fine if you're ahead. If you're behind, that strategy doesn't work too well. Bird, another 3.
With a beautiful crossover.
Jokic wants to respond, and does.
Bird off the pick. Got Mitchell in his face. Rojas
still in as McHale continues to apply ice to the knee. Larry.
Jokic against Wembanyama. High arcing shot is good.
Therefore, it should be quite obvious that the Bird and Bowick can score in any manner while posing from 3 to the mid-range off-ball face. When analyzing both of these games, I found that Yick and Bird have very little movement waste, especially when it comes to dribbling, as the vast majority of their shots involve little to no dribbles. UPS really doesn't matter if you're looking for great 3-level scores because they rank among the best in league history in terms of efficiency as well as skill set. Johnson
For the Celtics. Bird low. Got Robertson on him. Goes over him for 2.
Just so far. Straw the right back to Jokic.
Yeah, the rotation's got to be there.
Bird with 22 points. Warms it up.
Sell almost got the steal.
Jokic.
No,
don't give him that one.
You can't wait for the other team to go cold when you're on the road.
Bird.
You've got to pick up your
Another one.
Back out. Murray gets it back. Won't drive against Wemby. Now down to Jokic. He has to put it up quickly and scores.
That in and of itself is impressive on many levels, as both Bill Yick and Bird are capable of playing the game without dribbling. Not to minimize players like Kyrie, James Harden, or Luka, but mastering these dribble combos and having the ball at all times is the only way to dominate and succeed in the NBA. Regretfully, for Bird's heir in the 1980s, the dribble stats and touches stats do not yet have those numbers on record, but when you look at the Joker, those advanced metrics are undoubtedly on record, and when you look at the overall statistics, you can see that the Joker is an excellent player without the basketball and without dribbling, just like when examining NBA players among touches per game. Considering that you might think, wow, ball-dominant player needs the ball-yick kind of ball hawk, the Joker ranks top. However, if you examine at the qualifications in the more detailed stat, the Joker, who is among the top 50 players in terms of touches per game, ranks 45th in terms of average seconds per touch, 2.58 seconds per touch, and 46th in terms of DRS per touch, 1.4. Based on my extensive viewing of Boston Celtics games from the 1980s, I can assure you that if these stats are beyond record, they would be comparable to JIC, if not slightly better, as any player on the Celtics team, aside from Dennis Johnson, was dribbling a lot.
They've blown this thing wide open.
They're not going to get back in with 3-pointers from Dawkins, I'll tell you.
Bird 2 more. Poking in this quarter. He's got 16 points. Flips it up. And that was the 4th team foul on San Antonio. They go backdoor to Bird. Larry winds up. Oh.
Last but not least, I would like to compare these players' roles as passers and playmakers. I have watched countless clips of their games, and these guys' eyes are playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers.
Bird looking low for Parrish. Got Robertson in his face. Pick and roll to the Chief. Beautiful job.
Russell Westbrook up and under.
He's even more effective and more of a threat than when he has the ball.
Spurs by 6. Parrish again on that same play they ran.
Nuggets got it back. Jokic looking for the cutter. He's got Parrish!
Not doing it with speed either. Seems to have lost a little bit of quickness with that knee injury.
Bird finds Lohas low. Nice.
Averaging 10 points a game this season. That's a career low for him. Dump it into Jokic. Jokic extra pass. Westbrook.
Larry Bird and Nikola Jokic are the 2 players in NBA history that I believe are most immune to double teams. They consistently kill teams that overcommit or simply double team them because of their exceptional scoring and passing abilities, which make it nearly impossible to guard these players and their teammates, whether it's a tiny archer ball. Aaron Gord and Dennis Johnson, a Parrish man from the Joker's case when they get guys who are kind of written off as being past their prime, Russell Westbrook can turn them into entirely different players and reimagine them on the flop. Considering 88 Bird, his influence on teammates was evident in the stat sheet as he ranked first and in the NBA in terms of FIG percentage per game for both Male and Parrish, with the former having the highest and Paris having the second highest. Considering someone like Danny, who shot 41.5% from deep and was ranked 6th in the NBA, there is a clear comparison between Yish and Bird. Everyone can see them. They are very effective players who can score goals, grab rebounds, and really do anything offensively, but above all else, What sets them apart is their capacity to improve teammates and the Joker's team repeatedly with mediocre or subpar rosters. That concludes the film, and players like Bird and Yush are incredibly special. Larry Bird had the ability to take mediocre or good teams and turn them into legendary teams. As always, thank you for watching, and I hope you had fun. Once in 10 years kind of guys that have a big impact on the game and are very helpful to the team and productive in the stat column.